house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, with me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What's up?
We got Bam in the control booth.
Yep.
This is episode 244. We're on to college football conference championships and NFL Week 14. I almost botched the intro there. I don't know if you caught that. I slurred like I had a stroke for a second. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. We have a lot to recap, a lot to talk about. Big news for Lane Kiffin going to LSU. We'll dive into here in a very quick second. I think going into this episode, we are one subscriber away from 1,000. I've said it a bunch. That was a goal coming into this year. Last I looked, we were sitting at 999. So if you're listening right now, you go pop over there and you see still 999. You could be the 1,000 subscriber. You can show proof of that. I probably won't do anything. We used to we'll give you $100 for 100 subs. We're done with that. That ship has sailed. A lot to talk about. We'll start it off. Actually, we'll recap. Bam, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Yeah?
Ate a little too much, probably.
Okay. What was your favorite thing you had?
Jesse made this crawfish cornbread.
Did he make it before?
Or boudin cornbread. It was really good.
Did he make it before or after he traveled in?
After.
He didn't make it in Ohio and then bring it with him?
No.
In his backpack? That sounds good. What about you? What was the favorite thing you had? You're not a big Thanksgiving fan, huh?
What?
Don't you say this every year?
No.
Am I misremembering? So you're a big Thanksgiving fan then?
I like it, yeah.
Okay. Well, you were offended by that. What?
I think it was corn and crab soup or prime rib.
Prime rib? Where are you having Thanksgiving
Rich
at?
folks.
Jesus Christ. Having Thanksgiving at the Roost Chris? Okay. Well, are you still thankful for stuff, or how are you feeling?
Yeah. Always thankful.
You thankful for Shedeur Sanders in the first half? We'll get to that.
What was your favorite?
I don't know. I do this weird thing where, we bounce around, and we went to two places this year, but I don't eat that much. And then I'm always like, and we do a terrible job of getting leftovers. So we've got the baby and all of that. So obviously she's priority number one right now. And we go to my wife's place, her family, to start the day. And I never really eat that much. They make good, her grandma makes mac and cheese, but like the cheesiest mac and cheese you've ever had. Like it's got to be like an 8-cheese mac and cheese. It's borderline too much, but that's always good. But yeah, I don't know. It's honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you, it's probably the Copelands we had the other day.
Yeah, that was damn good.
Yeah, we got that one year, couple years back, and I kept telling Lindsay, I was like, we got to get that again, dude. That was pretty damn good. Good bang for your buck. That cornbread stuffing, I had it the next day. It was just as good as the first day. I was like, okay, next year I'm doing it again. All right, Lane Kiffin's the head coach at LSU. Biggest news of the weekend by far. Think it's the right hire?
Yeah.
The way it played out is a little funky. They kept kind of putting off the announcement, and poor Marty Smith for ESPN acting like he was a damn hostage or a natural disaster survivor. He was staking it out and interviewing Lane Kiffin on the tarmac. And long story short, Lane Kiffin's going to be the head coach of the LSU Tigers. And sounds like a few offensive coordinators and different position coaches are coming with him. They dropped the news today that they're going to let Charlie Weiss Jr. go back to Ole Miss and call plays on the playoff run. I don't necessarily love that as long as he comes back, but we'll see how that goes. It got ugly where he was trying to take staff, or I don't know. He said that was a rumor, at least. The rumor going around was that he was trying to poach staff and players on his way out the door and put an ultimatum that you don't have a spot on the team if you don't come right now. He claimed that was false. Probably wasn't false. He sat up there and said he prayed on it. And he had the audacity to ask God if he should go to LSU or stay at Ole Miss. And God told him, son, go to LSU. And it's just a weird dynamic. I think it's the best possible guy. I think it's a very volatile situation. I don't love Lane Kiffin. To be quite honest with you, if he wasn't the head coach of LSU, I would still tell you I kind of fucking hate Lane Kiffin. But given the circumstances, I think it was the best option we had. And you can't deny what he can do on the offensive side of the ball. I think he averages 500 yards plus and offensive play call. Like that's his statistics, calling plays, and he's clearly one of the best offensive minds. But he's a strange guy, and they've been throwing out a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff of what he was doing around Ole Miss because they want to air out the dirty laundry on the way out the door. It's like, I don't need to hear all of that. He'll probably be a menace out there in the streets of Baton Rouge, but just get wins and nobody cares. Well, I mean, right, 1 to 10. What do you think? You think it's 10 out of 10 home run?
Yeah, I do.
How long do you think he stays?
I don't know.
We'll look back on this one day and won't be able to say. Like, if you had to put a number on it, what does your gut say? The long haul?
Yeah, maybe.
A decade?
I mean, if he's successful, maybe forever, but I don't know. I don't know if he's interested in going to the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
it's a crapshoot.
You never know with him, but
that's the thing. It's a crapshoot, and it's like Russian roulette. And I'm going in with low expectations. While it's like not here for a long time, here for a good time type of thing. So if you come in and you win one national championship, you could leave the next year. I don't give a shit. If you give us one, you're good in my book. It's like Orgeron. Those years post 2019, 2020 were god awful. But it's like, I don't care. I still remember what happened the other day. So,
yeah, I mean, most of these guys aren't good people.
No, this one though.
But all of them.
No, and that, yes, I agree. And well, they're like, oh, he's a narcissist. It's like, yeah, the most successful people typically are. All the best athletes, all the top coaches think they're the shit. Because if you think like I'm just one of the guys, like then you're never going to be better than anybody else. So you kind of have to be a little bit of a narcissist. And I think most successful people are. With him, it's like lean into, are you, oh, I give it all to God? Or are you like, fuck Ole Miss, I don't give a shit on the way out the door? Like pick a lane. No pun intended, I guess. Like, are you the bad guy or are you the good guy? Because you can't like portray yourself as the good guy and the victim while you're doing bad guy shit. Just lean into it.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor was my favorite UFC fighter of all time. He was a bad guy. Look, he backed it up.
He's not the he doesn't have the best poker face. In the interview on the tarmac and his first press conference, you could tell all of that, stuff talking about Ole Miss and everything just wasn't sincere.
No,
And then when he starts talking about being excited about LSU, you can start seeing somebody that's actually telling the truth.
No, and I believed, when he's talking he was fired up to be here, like you can feel that. But then he gets up there and he's like, I don't even know the numbers on my contract. I told him I'm just worried about the kids. It's like, that's bullshit. You definitely know what you're getting paid. 0% chance did you say, you handle it, I trust you. I'm going to just worry about the NIL and the fit and all of that. Like, you knew what you were getting paid. You don't have to tell that lie. So, in terms of the fit, though, I think he's the perfect fit. In terms of he's the polar opposite of Brian Kelly. And that was the talk was Brian Kelly doesn't fit down in LSU. And I think we all tried to lie to ourselves. And that was kind of necessary of what we needed in the moment. Because we were so off the rails, he got it back on the rails. But then he just checked out. He didn't care. They said he set the record at the golf club. That guy golfed more than anybody in the state of Louisiana. He went on vacation to the beach mid-season.
Yeah, while we were not doing well.
Yeah, that's crazy. He checked out. He took the payday.
I think that's the difference here.
Lane Kiffin's going to work hard. There's
he
no
cares
doubt
about winning.
Yes.
I don't know if Brian Kelly cared like that.
Not like Lane Kiffin does, yeah. It's a different level. Like, he's a narcissist. Yeah, that motherfucker wants everybody to say you're the best. Mm-hmm. And there's a drive to get to that point that you can't deny. Nick Saban had it too. There's the stories of them playing pickup basketball, and he was rigging 5-on-5 pickup basketball in his LSU days. Like, there's people that want to win no matter what, and those are the people that typically get ahead. So it's the whole nice guys finish last thing. I don't need him to be a saint. I would just like him to pick a lane. If you're going to be the bad guy, lean into it. And let's fucking go.
Yeah.
That's why I texted you. I like being the villain. I like being the ones that people want to see lose, and you fucking beat them anyway. So we've apparently the number 1 overall commit is staying with LSU, Lamar Brown. We just flipped the number 7 tight end or something like that. We got another interior offensive lineman that was from going to Ole Miss. Now he's coming to LSU. It's a snowball effect. You're going to see that pick up.
I think there's a wide receiver, too, that decommitted from Ole Miss. I don't know the status of his recruitment just yet, but then there was another wide receiver that decommitted from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That visited Lane Kiffin the night he landed in Baton Rouge. They got video of that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think it's similar to the Brian Kelly hire as far as, like, a lot of people always bring up, well, he hasn't won any type of championships. Like, he's still unproven in that regard. But it was like we were talking about a few weeks ago. Like, you think you're going to hire a coach that's won a national championship? There's just not that many.
Yeah, and they don't typically get let go.
No.
Yeah.
So I think the difference between him and Brian Kelly is Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. They've had success in this league. Mm-hmm. So he's going to have more resources, and my expectations are to compete for the playoff in his first year.
Yeah. No, and especially with the format and the 12 team and where we're at. And I just think it's funny where everybody, like, nobody cares that Summerall's leaving to go from Tulane to Florida, and he's going back and they're letting him coach. And they're like, yeah, well, that's Tulane to Florida. And they're like, this is Ole Miss to LSU. This is not a fucking lateral move. And this is the perfect example. Everybody can lie and pretend and act like Ole Miss is on the same playing field as LSU, but they're just not. I'm not saying it's as drastic as a drop-off from Florida to Tulane. But lie to yourself all you want and try to pretend that Ole Miss is in the same breath as LSU. They're just not. They're not. And you're going to see that. And, you got Pete Golding and we got our guy now. The fucking defense for Ole Miss is terrible. Not terrible, but it's the worst unit. And of all the eligible teams for the college football playoff, they've got the worst defense. So we can't pretend like they're like, oh, this is Pete's team anyway. He recruited those players. It's like, oh, you think? Did he? The defense isn't fucking good. I bet the over in the damn Egg Bowl because it's like the defenses aren't great. The handicap is the offenses. And I just think it's a lot of like trying to make yourself feel better and I'll tell you what, I wish I could bathe in the tears of all these fucking losers because everybody was dancing on LSU's grave when Ole Miss beat us and this and that, and A&M embarrassed us. And it's like everybody, they would have built a statue of Lane Kiffin. Now they try to justify it to themselves. Like, hey, this was Pete Golding's team. It's like it wasn't. And you can try to the crocodile tears and all of that. It's a good day to be an LSU Tiger, I feel. There's, at the very least, bare minimum, there's excitement and there's hope. And it's not like, oh, we're going into another season with fucking Brian Kelly. So after what happened the last 3 years, whatever. And you're going to immediately turn into like must-see TV. Everyone's going to have eyes on Lane Kiffin and LSU and what we're going to do. So, and he's going to have that chip on his shoulder, whereas he made this decision. This was him doing this, but he's going to spin it to where like he's been wronged in a way because they didn't let him coach his team. And he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. It's going to be a trickle-down effect. I'm excited. Who do you think is going to be the quarterback?
I have no clue.
I don't have any clue either, but there's a lot of enticing options that may, like there's talking about Levitt may come available. Is Chambliss going to get another year? You would imagine that there's going to be a lot of people that want to play for him.
Yeah, and that's like kind of been a concern of LSU in the past as quarterback.
Yeah.
Not so recently, but, 5 or 10 years ago. I think Lane Kiffin has a special eye for talent at the quarterback position. I mean, you just look at all his quarterbacks at Ole Miss.
Or you can go to Ferris State and say,
Right.
that guy can play in the SEC, and nobody else could figure that out.
So I guess we don't know right now, but I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, the not having, like, okay, this is definitely the guy. I like we get to kind of find out. And it's exciting to see, like, who's going to be the first guy he goes with. And, yeah, I mean, you look, Matt Corral never had a chance in the NFL. That guy was good at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like to
You wish you could sit down with Matt Corral and talk to him?
Yeah.
See what went wrong? Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I think if you're an LSU fan, you got to be excited. And like I said, at the very least, it's going to be must-see TV, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on LSU, more than there even already are. And that game against Ole Miss next year is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he fills out the rest of the staff, too.
Yeah.
Well,
Blake Baker might go to Tulane. Yeah.
Right. So
they're talking about, though, does he pivot if Baker leaves? Does he pivot and go get Auburn DC? Blanking on his name. He was with Kiffin before. I'm blanking on it. But there's plenty of options. A ton of people are going to.
Yeah, I honestly think he wants to do whatever he wants anyway. Like, I don't know if he was that open. Probably open to keeping Blake Baker, but
the report was that he was.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good DC, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Does Orgeron come? They're saying he's interviewing for the Tulane job, and a lot of options. It's all completely wide open. It's going to be exciting to see how it plays out, and a lot of hype going into next year. So we'll see how it goes. I guess we'll do a quick breakdown of the full coaching carousel too. So you got James Franklin of Virginia Tech. You've got obviously Kiffin to LSU, Summerall to Florida. You've got who went to Auburn? Galesh from South Florida.
Yeah.
Galesh went to Auburn. You've got Morris from North Texas went to Oklahoma State. Especially in going into these games, you got a ton of different people and pieces bouncing around. Kalani Sitake, they were talking about, was the number one target for Penn State, and then in the 11th hour, they threw a bag at him, and he said he's not going anywhere. So I don't know who Penn State's going to go get. Like, I have no idea who. If you're Penn State, who's number one on the list?
I think Brian Dable is a name that was tossed around a little bit.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think he could be.
Problem is Penn State's kind of behind the 8 ball now,
It's getting late. Everybody's getting picked up, and they're all getting a jump on recruiting. Remember when DeBoer was talking about going to Alabama, and they were waiting until after the run, and then there was a reason they couldn't hit like some window, and everybody's saying they're way behind the 8 ball with recruiting. So yeah, Penn State's going to be behind it for sure.
Yeah, and all Penn State's recruits are flipping to Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You saw we're just kind of riffing back and forth here, but the Georgia quarterback flipped from Georgia to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
It's a new day. It's a new day in college football that happens.
Vanderbilt should be in the college football playoff, and they're not going to be.
No, I know. They released the updated.
Did they?
Yeah, and Notre Dame dropped a spot. So I'm confused. There's the auto bids, and then it's the top 8 highest.
It's the 5 auto bids.
Oh, 5, right, because the group of 5 is going to get one.
At least one.
They're saying Notre Dame is now on the outside looking in. Alabama's one ahead of them. And then you've got Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a fugazi, and we can talk about that. If Oklahoma gets a spot in the college football playoff, which it's looking like they're going to, that's very disappointing, because there's a deserving team that is going to be on the outside looking in. Oklahoma's not good. That offense with Mateer is not good. You saw it against LSU, and I understand LSU's got a damn good defense. That team is not good. So,
yeah, the problem, Notre Dame, I don't know how long they're going to let them keep going on without playing in a conference.
Yeah, and maybe they pay the price for it this year, and then they go, all right, well, because if they're in the ACC, they're winning the ACC.
Yeah.
More than likely. All right, quick update, Circa Millions. My God, we were talking about this today. If you've been following along with the show, you know, again, very short. I've said it like a broken record. We went out to Vegas, entered into the Circa Millions contest. It's an NFL pick'em, 5 picks against the spread each week. We got on a heater in the third quarter. we finished 15-4-1. This past week we went 5-0. We were one game away from $30,000, pretty much.
Yeah.
With the split for ties. 2 games away from an outright second place, which would have been, I think, 90,000, maybe less. Maybe it was 60, maybe 60, whatever. A lot of money. And that is a tough pill to swallow. I had to go for a walk. Because I knew it in real time when it was happening. Like, you can't afford a 2-2-1. And that's the worst week we had in that quarter. You can't have that. You can't even afford a 3-2, really. Although a 3-2, I guess, in this instance, would have got us there. That fucking sucks. And I feel like I was like, I got to go take a walk. And I'm going to get hung up on, like, the what ifs of it. And it is what it is. You got to just keep going. Like, I have to, like, look in the mirror sometimes and be like, I'm built for this. Don't fucking get hung up on the fact that we'd be on a flight to Vegas to go pick up someone, bring me my money. Yeah,
it sucks. I mean, I guess when I first sent it to you, I wasn't really thinking about, because every week we...
yeah, you're like, so close. I'm like, fuck!
Yeah. And then you kind of like, it makes me sick. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of sick about it too because, every week it's not like it's both of us making the decisions on which 5 games to go for. Yeah. So typically we're picking between, more than five picks.
Yeah. Well, so I'll send you 8 leans and then I'll kind of see which ones you like the best. But yeah, it's a different dynamic where it like meaning I wouldn't have had the Patriots last night. I leaned the Patriots, but I didn't like them enough to lay it. Patriots were an easy win. I don't know where you were with the Texans, which was my lock and was a contest play. And 4.5 points, they went outright. But I knew that going in, though, and that's what I said. It's kind of like we got to be okay with there being losers that we didn't 100% love. And there's got to be like a give and take because it's 2 people splitting 1 entry and 5 picks. So you gotta kind of.
Yeah, I know. So we went 4-1 the first week, 4-1 the second week, 2-2-1 the third week. And it's like you go back and look at the losses. I mean,
the Green Bay Packers against I remember it vividly. The fucking Packers decided to kick a 60-yard field goal instead of trying to get closer, and Jordan Love fumbling right before fucking halftime because he didn't need to, trying to 2-hand pass it, and it gets knocked out. Huge difference there. An Eagles team that looks like dog shit right now. And then you've got the Chiefs game with the blocked extra point. That was, in my opinion, the difference there because Bo Nix, who doesn't look good, was not going to go execute in the red zone against that Chiefs defense, but instead it was a 3-point game. Then you've got fucking the Saints shit in the bed. You've got the Cardinals with the push. You've got, what was the other loss?
It was the Lions.
The Lions fucking.
That was the one. That was the one we were closest to taking out.
Yeah.
And we had a couple weeks there early on this quarter where my locks, the line moved.
Yeah.
Around key numbers like Bengals 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had Bengals plus 8.5 on Circa. It was 6.5 because there was flirting around Joe Burrow might come back a week early. But I remember the week before that, Bears was 2.5. Bears plus 3 was my lock that week. We didn't include it, but yeah, it was the 2-2-1 week where we were really close to exchanging the Lions for the Packers that week. And just the line moved big time on the Lions, so we went with that.
Yeah, that was the one where we got them, -10? It was like 13.5. So it's like, and that was the most picked play of the contest this year. More than almost like half the field picked the Lions because you're getting like a 3-point guaranteed CLV because it's dead lines. And all that money came in on the Lions, and that was.
But before that line moved, I think you'd agree, but we were really close to. Putting the Packers in instead.
Yeah, definitely. No, but we've gotten burned from the Packers this year, and it's very tough, and that's why it drives me crazy when people are like, "Yeah, the NFL, it's not that like 60%, that's pretty good." It's like, dude, I would love to see anybody line up and go 5 picks against the spread every week and have success. It's incredibly difficult. And when you look back at it, so now, and I know we're rambling on this, we're going to get to the picks here in a second. We are tied for 114th, 5 weeks to go. We stay on a heater that we've been on, we're going to be in the money. But I go back and look, and we started, I think, 7-8, maybe 10-10. It's like we did not start good. We had 1-4 weeks, and we're now rolling, and we're in the mix. But if you don't have those 1-4 weeks, or if you don't start 7-8, we're at the top of the fucking leaderboard. And I said going out there, when we were flying out there, I said to everybody that would listen, I was like, I think we can win. I think we can win. And I paid the price for it in college, and I apologize to anybody who tailed the picks. It's a god-awful year in college for me, and I couldn't be happier that this regular season is over. But the majority of my focus went into the NFL picks this year. This was the first year really trying to focus on numbers and coming up with my own numbers for these games and all of that. And I think it's paid dividends, and I think we're reaping the benefits of it, but paid the price for it in college, like I said. So, and it's like you said, it's better than being on the outside looking in, having no shot, and it's like, fuck, like you're questioning, like, do we ever have a chance? So I felt like we had a chance. We're in the mix firmly right now.
Yeah, the crazy thing is the guy that was in first place for the quarter going into the 4th week was also in last place.
I watched it.
And
I saw it.
What was it? Did he go 0-5?
He flip-flopped. He went 0-5 in the first place and 5-0 in the last place. That was crazy. I think he went all favorites and all underdogs. And I think all the dogs covered. Because he did all the Thanksgiving Day games. And that was the trend, was, the favorites cover on Thanksgiving. So he just went straight trend-based. I looked at that because they released, like, the people in the mix. So I'm adding it up. I'm like, we're going to jump them. But I saw it. Dude, I would be sick to my stomach. Like, you flip-flop that, he's winning fucking both. He's getting first place in the quarter and last place in the quarter.
Yeah,
he's getting a booby prize. Yeah. Dude, I would be fucking sick. I would be sick. Because he's like, I'm trying to fucking lose with these. I want them all. Dude, that's tough. But yeah, no, it does feel good, and that we're in the mix. And like I said, if we just keep doing what we've been doing the last month, 2 months, we're gonna place. So, but there's still a lot of work to do. So, Bam's had a front row view of. That's why I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, it's kind of the beauty of. So, like, you like the Patriots? I think I texted, and I was like, I lean the Patriots, but I don't. And I understand we were breaking down the schedule. That wasn't so much of like, because I went back and looked. Or watch, that wasn't so much of me saying, like, don't take the Patriots. I do think there is a spot that's going to come up, in my opinion, where there's going to be an opportunity to fade the Patriots. And it is remarkable to me that they've played literally nobody. Like, when you look at the schedule in the divisions week, and that they're reaping the benefits of that. But it's an easy winner. They blew the doors off the Giants pretty much. So I was thinking about it. I was like, Bam's had a front row view of just an incredible run of putting my brain and your brain together. It makes probably the sharpest NFL brain, at least in the state of Louisiana. And Bam won't listen to us. Yeah. Bam's betting his own. He's trying to forge his own way. Bam, you've been given a golden ticket to the chocolate factory, if you will. And you're like, I'm okay. I'm going to go on my own tour.
Yeah, well, that's what Charlie did. He ended up winning the whole fucking thing.
What? Have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, you don't remember he walked out, saw the girl eat the bubble gum.
He went on his own tour. All right. The point is, Bam, you've been able to. I don't know where I'm going with it, but you've been blessed. Let's put it that way. Okay, you've been blessed to watch my brain navigate the slate and his brain navigate the slate in his own way. He's got his numbers, I've got my numbers. We come together. You could have just been betting all these on the side. You'd be you'd be rich.
Yeah, I guess.
You guess. All right.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, which we didn't even mention about this past week. Every game we were considering for the contest was a winner.
Yeah.
We didn't have any losers we were considering.
Well, I don't know if you've been, and I've been referring back to it. All of my leans have been hitting pretty much. I sent you that one over the course of the first 2 weeks. I think I went like 16-1 on my leans, and I bet like the majority of them too. And I'm not an advocate for parlays, but the amount of money I've made on parlays this year is fantastic, and I've needed it, especially this week because as we segue into a recap for college football, Thanksgiving got me again. And I just sit there, and it's funny because every year I'm like, oh, we'll see, Thanksgiving. And then I'm sitting there on Thanksgiving, I'm like, this is unfucking believable. This is sick. Starts off with a 3-point first quarter. We're on the under in the Packers and Lions. I'm like, okay, fantastic. 28 points in the second quarter. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what's going on? I'm like, it's going to happen again. I know it. And then I start thinking, I'm like, I'm going to lose all the bets. I'm going to lose everything. Pretty much did. Well, I think I was 1-7 going into Saturday. Between Thursday and Friday, I was 1-7. We're out there on Saturday, at my stepdad's farm, and they got a TV on out there. They're all like, they're playing and having fun, riding horses. I'm just sitting under the pavilion watching the Egg Bowl. And Lindsay's coming up. She's like, how's it going? And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, shaking my head, no. And she would come back a little while later. I'm like, we really need this touchdown. Fucking holding, back them up as they're about to get it. I'm like, we're fucking dead. We're dead. And then Saturday rolls around, and I texted them. I had a lot of plays. I had a lot more than what I gave out on the podcast. They all went bad. It was a disaster. I won one play all fucking weekend, my lock. But it was an absolute disaster. And then I got it all back on Sunday. And it's a crazy life to live because it's a stressful. My neck was locking up again. I think it's stress-induced now. I think it's got to be. But I had a crazy feeling going into Sunday where I was like I was talking with Lindsay about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, we're pretty much dead. But like she's like, Christmas ruined dead? And I was like, I was like, we'll talk after today. I said, I got a funny feeling about today. Didn't lose a fucking bet. Smacked them for a fucking big parlay again and just completely brought me back from the dead. So, look, I've said it a bunch this year. I lose all my money at the beginning of the week. I win it all back and then some at the end of the week. So, and hopefully we can get away from doing that because oddly enough, I feel very good about the conference championships this week. So we'll see if we align there. But very quick recap, basically just spoiled it for you. It was a disaster in college football. And it started with your lock. I was definitely not, I was not happy. I was like, okay, good. This is your lock. I was like, I need this one bad. And they just fucking got it was bad. It was not good. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is the disaster. My Thanksgiving is absolutely ruined. I was like, I'll just blind tail your lock.
Yeah, it was a bad bet. Maybe one of my worst.
Yeah. I was like, what are the odds? I was like, I'll take it. Just have the action. I already had all the NFL action. I'm like, I didn't even need this.
Yeah.
I'm watching like, I wish I never did this.
But yeah, the biggest surprise here was that Memphis wasn't really able to get it going offensively here.
Yeah, only 288 yards.
And that's kind of the thing, or the other thing that was the problem is Memphis defensively. You see this sometimes against the service academy teams. When a team's good against the run but not great against the run, it's almost worse to be good against the run than to be terrible against the run against a service academy team, because what happens is you're going 3 downs conversion every time, 3 downs conversion every time, 3 downs conversion every time.
Yeah.
So it really, especially in that second half, Memphis just didn't have a whole lot of opportunities there offensively, and when they did, they couldn't capitalize. So it was closer in the first half, but Navy separated in the second half.
Yeah, blanked Memphis, no points in the second half. So, yeah, loser there. The Egg Bowl over 62.5. There was 21 points in a blink of an eye. I'm like, good. I was like, I need this bad. Scoring came to a halt. We still had an opportunity. Ole Miss got inside the 5-yard line with enough time that they would have had to score it, holding, ticky-tack bullshit, holding, brought it back. Bam threw his hood on, and that threw me off. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Ears are a little cold.
Feel free to adjust the...
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. And then Mississippi State had the ball. Shapen, they benched his dumb ass. Didn't even know it. Full disclosure. That's on me. Look, hand up. My worst college year by far. I'm going to put more. And look, this is meaningless talk at this point. It was a disaster of a year. Unless we're talking locks. Last 5 weeks. Can't lose. I'm going to try to get back to the drawing board with college football. And really all that means is just more emphasis. And it was just a disaster of a year. There's nothing really else I can say other than that. And just know, like I said, I've lost a fortune on college this year. I bet every single one of these plays. And sometimes I wish I didn't. Mississippi State had the ball. They were driving with a chance to go score late and couldn't get it done. So just missed the over there. Utah minus 11.5. They win by 10. Jalen Daniels tried his best to keep us in this. Threw a couple pick sixes, at least one like 99-yard pick six. 10-point win for Utah. Ohio State minus 9.5 was the lock of the week, most important bet. If we're talking locks, they dominated Michigan. It went pretty much how I thought it would go. A little fortunate with the Jeremiah Smith touchdown, and probably shouldn't have been a touchdown. In real time, I was texting you. I was like, that's bullshit. I was like, I needed it so bad. I was heavily invested in Ohio State. I was having a disaster of a weekend. I was like, they're trying to screw Ohio State. You had Sayan throwing the pick right out the gates. It didn't matter. Ohio State handled them. Florida State plus 1.5, just a complete misread. And I thought, like, oh, Norvell's coming back. Florida's in shambles. And Florida State sucks. SMU minus 13.5. This was the most frustrating game of the weekend because this team, a complete fucking no-show. And Rhett Lashley should be ashamed. This team looked like they forgot that they had a chance to go to the fucking college football playoff. This was sickening to watch. Georgia minus 13.5. They hold Georgia Tech out of the end zone. They don't score a touchdown and can't cover the number here. Fucking Mike Bobo just won't run the ball. They're having too much success. He said, let's sprinkle in some meaningless fucking throws and have no success and kill drives. So just a disaster. 1-6 brings me to 41, 62, and 4. I'll say that fast so you can't fucking hear it. 7-7 in my locks of the week. We bounced back in the locks department. We've hit 5 in a row. It's the only thing we have. You had 6 plays, 2 and 4, probably your worst week of the year. Thanksgiving got us again.
Yeah, we talked about Memphis. You talked about Florida State. I ended up taking Oklahoma minus 10. Mateer just kept throwing it to LSU here.
Yeah, he stinks. I've been saying that. He stinks.
We were also on the LSU Oklahoma under 36.5, super low. Still went under. I think 17-13 was the final score. You talked about Georgia, and then my only other winner was Miami minus 6.5, an easy winner. They steamrolled Pitt.
Yeah.
All right, Bam. How did your week go?
I went 1-2, so you already talked about Utah. Had them minus 11.5. Was also on Florida State. And then my lock of the week was the Ohio State-Michigan game under 44.5.
Easy winner.
Yep.
All right, overall, what are you?
14-18. 6-6 in locks of the week.
Okay. All righty, like I said, it's conference championship week now, and I oddly feel good about these games. Probably shouldn't. Have nothing to show for it, for why that is, but for some reason I do. Friday, we have 4 games. Are you picking every one?
I didn't plan on it.
Okay. Yeah, probably not a good idea, but I'm going to pick almost all of them. So are you on the Sun Belt Championship?
No, I'm not on any of those little ones.
Well, relax with that. What do you mean little? These are some of the best games. North Texas Tulane might be the best game of the weekend.
I'm on it.
Are you?
I'll tell you, you can tell by the point spread in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Troy doesn't belong here. Right?
Yeah.
Old Dominion is probably the second best Sun Belt team.
Yeah.
It's just weird how these tiebreakers work in some cases.
Yeah, I was hoping to be honest with you, I was hoping to get a 24, and I would probably take Troy. You think that's a crazy move? There's no 24, so I'm not going to do it. But crazy move, you think?
No.
If we could get 24,
but Troy looked like there was this. I was on the Troy Old Dominion under, and Old Dominion smashed them. Like Troy couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
So James Madison's defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I question whether Troy can even.
Is JMU still doing the 2 quarterbacks? Or they get away from that?
I think they're kind of away from it.
Yeah. All right. Are you on anything other than North Texas Tulane for Friday, Bam?
No.
Okay. And you're on nothing Friday?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start it off there then. The American Athletic Championship, North Texas going on the road to take on Tulane, the battle of the departing head coaches. You've got Eric Morris going to Oklahoma State. You've got John Summerall going to Florida. Both are going to be back coaching the teams. It's not a Lane Kiffin Ole Miss situation. The Mean Green team that we've talked about a number of times this year is led by Drew Mestamaker, 3,835 yards, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I'll get right to it. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points with North Texas. Like I said, I bet a bunch of stuff on Saturday. One of them was Tulane. Tulane should have covered that number. The reason they didn't is because Jake Retzlaff did not play well. And he threw a touchdown. He threw a turnover, threw an interception in the end zone. I'm having a stroke again. Couple bad turnovers. The thing here, I'm assuming Retzlaff has got to be banged up because he's not even attempting to run, and he's not a good pocket passer. The thing when he was at BYU was that his ability to run was kind of pushing them over the edge, and then you sprinkle in some timely passing here. He's not really running at all. He has 5 rushing yards over the last 3 games, and I think that's excluding a couple kneel downs. So he's not even really trying to run. I don't trust Retzlaff to be able to get it done with his arm. Mestamaker is a significantly better quarterback. I like Hawkins, the running back. I like defensively North Texas as well, believe it or not. Tulane, and I've seen this firsthand on a number of occasions, and it plays a big role. They're number 128 in the nation in penalty yards per game. I've questioned, is Summerall even a good coach? Because it's like he is a good coach, and he's highly touted. But when you watch the teams, they're very undisciplined, and they get a lot of red zone penalties that'll be the difference between a touchdown or a field goal, and it has a pretty drastic effect. Also, for what it's worth, North Texas is getting an extra day of rest. So I'm going to take North Texas minus 2.5. I'm also going to go under 66.5. Which way are you going in this one, Bam?
North Texas minus 2.5.
Okay. You got anything to add, or you concur?
Concur.
Okay. That was the kiss of death for me last week whenever I was on anything Bam was on. So when he said I'm on it too, I'm going to be honest with you, full disclosure. I was like, he's probably on Tulane, hometown team, this and that. I was like, good. Do you have any opinion on it?
No, not really.
It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a damn good game.
Both coaches are moving on after this, yeah.
Yeah. I think I think both teams will have success running, but dude, in the red zone, I don't like Retzlaff, and I think that'll be the difference in what should be touchdowns turn into field goals, and you sprinkle in the penalties and all of that. That's why I'm also like I said, I'm on the under 66.5 as well, but I just trust Mestamaker to put more points up on the board than Retzlaff. It's as simple as that. He's a damn good quarterback and probably going to be one of the more sought-after quarterbacks in the portal after this year. Next, we got the Mountain West Championship. You got Boise State at home taking on UNLV. A rematch from earlier in the year where Boise handled them. But believe it or not, I'm going to go against the Blue Broncos, and I'm going to take UNLV with the points +4, I think is still available. Don't fact check me on that, Bam. A ton of common opponents, obviously, from the Mountain West. Utah State is not a bad team. They played them, both of these. Utah State played Boise and UNLV tough, but they played Nevada recently. UNLV's playing much better now towards the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year. First week, I was like, this might be the worst defense I've ever seen. They're playing their best football at the right time. So I'm going to take UNLV. on the road, tough place to go play. Maddox Matson's coming back from injury, probably not going to be 100%.
You can get 4.5.
Okay, I'll take UNLV plus 4.5. I think the pass rush will be able to get to Matson and bother him a little bit. So 4.5, I'll take it, UNLV. We go to Saturday. How many total do you have if you're not doing every one?
I got the four big ones.
The main, okay. Which one's your lock?
Oh shit. It's either going to be the SEC championship or the Big Ten.
Okay, mine's the Big 12.
All right.
Not reassuring that you don't know.
Damn.
Which way are you going for the Big 12? We'll
The
start
Big
there.
12 is the one that I'm up in the air about.
Should I just say? Well, I don't know. I've hit 5 locks in a row. So
No, you should wait. I'll run through my breakdown, but I won't. Bam, you're on this?
Are you on the Big 12 championship? Yeah, he is. He bet Texas Tech 1 million times this year.
Not.
No? Wow.
No.
Okay. Bam's scared. Bam's trying to baby his record.
All right,
Bowl
yeah.
season's going to eat Bam alive.
Okay, I'll be on it.
Okay, everybody listening. Okay, which way are you going?
All right, give me Texas Tech minus 12.5.
There you go.
Um,
Well, what's your breakdown?
yeah, it's BYU, Texas Tech in a Big 12 championship. Texas Tech's 12.5 point favorites. The point total is 49.5. In the first matchup a few weeks ago, November 8th, Texas Tech won 29-7. It was a dominant game by Texas Tech. They really shut down BYU offensively. Held them to 255 yards and 3 for 14 on third down. BYU turned the ball over 3 times. It was a dominant victory, but you kind of go and you break down this game a little bit. You know, Texas Tech was held to 5 field goals here. BYU turned it over 3 times. It's like if BYU doesn't turn it over 3 times, maybe this game's a little bit closer. So make no mistake, I have a ton of respect for Texas Tech, especially their defense. It's legit second nationally in schedule-adjusted defensive efficiency, behind only Ohio State, and it's a very slim margin there. I still question how good Texas Tech is offensively. I get the numbers look great. It's just playing in the Big 12. You're not going against the nation's top defenses. So I get this is the Big 12 championship. I just look back at the first matchup, and I'm like, Texas Tech just didn't have – they might have had one of their more funky games offensively the whole season against BYU last time. So I wonder if this time, if BYU can protect the football, if they can't keep this game close.
Yeah. All righty. Well, then you can wait before you put your stamp on it. You can see which way I'm going for my lock of the week. Are you on the MAC championship? No.
No.
Okay.
I should be.
You think? What, do you like
The
Western
MAC
Michigan?
attack.
You like Western Michigan? I have no opinion on this game. After what happened to me last week, I will not be risking my hard-earned dollars on the MAC championship.
No, I was following the MAC early on, but I do know Daquan Finn left Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just haven't gotten to see them play since he did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's go to the SEC championship then. Georgia taking on Alabama. Georgia's 2.5 point favorites. This is in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Total sits at 47.5, 48 maybe. Have you decided, is this your lock?
Yeah, I guess we'll stick to the home conference.
Okay. All righty, well then, are you on this, Bam?
Nope.
Okay. Bam's scared.
I just have my lock left.
Okay. Alrighty. So a rematch, obviously, from earlier in the year. You saw Bama get the 3-point win. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't love either quarterback in this matchup. I don't think Stockton played well last game. I don't think that Simpson's playing great either. In the Iron Bowl, Simpson was Bama was outgained by 130 yards. Simpson was 19 of 35 for 122 yards. They were ballsy to go for it on that 4th down late, and good throw, and a lot of it was short touchdowns. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Williams. I don't think he had a target in the game. Maybe he's just not as good as everybody thought when he broke out on the scene his freshman year. Kind of non-existent and not even in the game plan at this point. I think that's a cause for concern for sure. Like I said, first meeting, Bama won 24-21, but Georgia ran for 227 yards. I think Georgia had a lot of success running the football last week too, and then Mike Bobo would just go away from it for some reason. I think Georgia's defense is playing their best ball at the right time. Long story short, I'm going to lay 2.5 points with the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm also going to go under 48. I think that I just don't like this Alabama team. I think they've let a lot of teams hang around. They went up 17-0 in the Iron Bowl, and then they let Auburn get back in that game, and that's not a great Auburn offense at all. So I think Georgia has the recipe to success here, and I think they're more reliable. So I'm going to lay the 2.5 points with the Bulldogs, and then I'm going to go under 48 as well. 2 plays in the SEC Championship. We'll see. We'll anxiously await what your lock is. Next up, you got the Big Ten Championship. And this is not going to be College game day for some reason. I understand the implications of the SEC Championship, and SEC is king, and ESPN has the media rights. But you've got number 1 versus number 2. Ohio State taking on Indiana. This is going to be at Lucas Oil Field, I believe, in Indy, where the Colts play. Indoors, turf field, I'm assuming. Ohio State's 4.5-point favorites. The total sits at 47.5. You feel good about this one? You got to if you were considering it as your lock.
Yeah, I guess.
I've already made my decision that I will not flip, and I'm going with what I'm going with, but I want you to lead the way.
All right, yeah, this is the only Power 4 conference championship that's not going to be a rematch. So it's quite frankly the most interesting one, too, because it's number 1 versus number 2. Outside the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten, there's just not any good teams, right?
Yeah.
Indiana only had 2 games against top 25 ranked opponents this year. Ohio State 3. I think they're still concerned. Just looking at how good these teams are, particularly because they haven't really played that many top teams. Indiana had to face Oregon as their top opponent, and then Michigan's top opponent, Texas, week 1. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ohio State's top opponent was Texas, week 1. And it was just such a long time ago. Obviously, Arch has started playing better later than he was then. It's like, with that being said, I think these teams are closer than the point spread indicates. The one thing I do get worried about, and it's why we shied away from making it my lock, is we're going Indiana plus 4.5, but obviously Ohio State's going to have the more talented players here. So there is a chance that they just smash the shit out of them like they did last year. But I do think these teams are pretty close offensively and defensively. Indiana's offense is a little bit better than Ohio State's, I would say, even though they have top-tier talent at wide receiver position. Ohio State's defense is number 1 in the country. And then on the other side of the ball, Indiana's defense is not as good as Ohio State's, but it's still pretty damn good. And then they're going against another top 5 offense. So I think it should be closer to a 3-point spread. I think either team can win this game, and I think the team that does will be by a field goal. So I like Indiana plus 4.5.
I'm in full agreement, believe it or not. And when you really dive into it, I'm like, I don't know why I like Indiana. But I agree. I think it should be a field goal. Like, I know why, but I just questioned, and I think Fernando Mendoza is going to answer a ton of questions in this game heading into the college football playoff. He hasn't played the best against the step up in competition. Like when you go look at the best defenses that Mendoza and Indiana have played, Oregon, he was 20 of 31, 215 yards, a touchdown and a pick. They had 326 total yards on offense. Iowa, 13 of 23, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, 337 total yards of offense. Penn State, 19 of 30, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I believe that was the improbable game-winning drive, his Heisman moment, 326 total yards of offense. So you look at all of that, nothing is really reassuring that they're going to be able to come out against this Ohio State defense and be able to move the ball and put up points. But I think a big factor, in my opinion, Big Ten Conference is all about weather games and up north and rainy, snowy conditions. This is indoors. This is on a fast track. Offense is king in this day and age, in my opinion. And I just think We've seen Mendoza do it. I think that they have talent with Surratt, and they have a ton of quality wide receivers, but also big body guys too. If there's a weakness of Ohio State, it's the corner position, and they will commit some penalties, and we've seen it year after year with Igbinosun and all these other guys. Obviously, at the safety position and the linebacker, everywhere else they're stacked. Arvell Reese, I was texting you, like, what a embarrassment of riches for Ohio State to come in with all of these guys, and Arvell Reese wasn't even really talked about, at least not that mainstream. Now this guy might go number 1 overall. So, but this Indiana team can run the football, and I'm going to trust Mendoza here to keep them within 1 possession. And I think we've seen Ohio State in a couple spots. Who was it that they got tested by somebody earlier? I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Yeah, that's
Washington held them to 24 points. It was just a no-show by Washington's offense, but this Ohio State defense is the real deal, and it's extremely good. But I don't put a ton of stock into what they did against Michigan. I think that offense that's the same offense from the year before. That you throw Bryce Underwood out there, great. That they don't have any skill position players, and the style they want to play is not anything that's going to strike fear into you. I'm gonna trust Signetti and the Hoosiers, and I think they're gonna keep it close. So we're in full agreement there.
Yeah. The another thing which I didn't mention is Ohio State. You can look at this as, a plus or a minus for if you're an Indiana backer, but only 1 game was decided by 1 possession this whole year, and that was week 1 against Texas, a 14-7 win for Ohio State. So they just haven't been in any games that are like, coming down to the wire. Like, what happens if they're down and Sayan has to put a drive together? How's he going to look then?
Yeah.
We've seen Mendoza do it against Penn State. One of the most incredible comebacks I've ever seen.
Yeah, the drive and also the final touchdown catch. So, he's good. He's a NFL talent at the quarterback position for Indiana. So I understand. Look, Ohio State, you got those guys on the outside, but I do think what worries me too is Bo Jackson, the running back, kind of asserting himself as the number 1. He's good. He's better than I thought when they got Donaldson. I think where was he? West Virginia last year, and he was like all West Virginia had. I was like, that's a good get. He's just not. It hasn't panned out, but they've kind of formed this role now of Jackson's the every down back, but then you can bring Donaldson in for the short yardage situations and the goal line situations, and I think it's a good mix there. But at 4.5, I got it. Like exactly what you said. We haven't seen Sayan have to operate under pressure, and I mean the closest thing I guess is you throw a pick first drive against Michigan on the road, but that offense doesn't have a pulse. They had no chance. They were never in any danger of putting points up on the board, really. So this Indiana team, it's a big factor for me. And I mean, what do you think? Do you think I'm putting too much stock in that? I think the fact that they're indoors on turf, it's going to be.
No, I think that helps. I think it helps Indiana.
Yeah, I agree. So that's my thought process on it. So I think we could see Ohio State get put in a position to where they gotta put a drive together and put some points up on the board. And I'm excited to see how it goes. This is going to answer a lot of questions. Is Indiana actually for real, or is this a repeat from last year? And I don't think it is. I thought last year maybe could have been the Cinderella story, and then we see them kind of like, okay, pull a Penn State and fall amongst the ranks, I guess. But these are the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams, graded teams, like power rated, however you want to look at it. And Texas Tech's up there in the mix too, but a lot of questions will be answered in the Big Ten Championship. So final game, Power 4 Conference Championship, the ACC Championship. You've got Duke taking on Virginia. Duke was probably drunk on the couch, and somebody nudged him and was like, "Oh, you're in." And they're like, "What? 7-5? We're in the ACC Championship, a game away from the fucking
barely bowl eligible."
Yeah. You got to win 6 games to make a damn bowl game. They're on the doorstep of making the college football playoff.
Yeah, and then you think about how they won against Clemson.
Yeah. What a play that was by me. Which way are you leaning? I know which way I'm leaning.
So these teams played a few weeks ago. Virginia dominated 34-17. Virginia had 540 yards of total offense and was 12 for 19 on third down. Duke was held to 255 yards.
Yep.
Duke doesn't belong in this game, but I get the strange feeling
funny shit's going to happen.
that they're going to give everyone a scare. Like, this is going to be a fucking total nightmare for the College Football Playoff Committee if Duke somehow upsets Virginia.
Fuck yeah.
Because there's people talking maybe they leave Duke out, and there's 2 schools outside the Power 4 that are conference champions that get in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think where we're headed, man, is reformatting again.
Probably.
So, but
anyway,
in this game, we're going to go over 57.5.
Bingo.
Because
I got 57. Bam, get us the best number in that. Continue.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love Mensah. I've said it all year. And the Pro Football Focus loves Mensah. He did not play well against Virginia. I understand. I don't think he's going to play that bad. I think Duke's defense is bad. I think we're going to see points in this one. I think it's going to be one of the more exciting games. This is one where everybody's like, who gives a shit? 7-5 Duke doesn't belong. I think exactly what you said is going to happen, where Duke's going to give them a run for their money, and it's a tight enough spread. It's not like this is expected to be a runaway. I think we're going to see the offenses battle back and forth here, and the committee's going to be on notice watching this one closely, and this is going to come down to the wire. I expect points. What's the best number we can get?
57.5.
Okay, fuck. Not that it's whatever. Over 57.5 in the ACC Championship, Duke and Virginia. The best bet. And all we have left is our locks?
Yep.
All righty. Can I go for 6 in a row? Clearly, we understand which way you were leaning by your breakdown. Bam blindly just said, I'm not going to do it. All right, I'll take Texas Tech.
It's a hard team to bet against.
It is. You're right about that. No such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, for my lock of the week, we're back again. I've hit not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 locks in a row. And we're going to the Big 12 Championship. I've faded this team all year. BYU taking on Texas Tech, who everybody loves, the metrics love. But I don't love them. I'm taking BYU plus 12.5 as my lock of the week. You had a banged-up LJ Martin the last time they played. I think it's going to be a heavy emphasis on running the ball, controlling the clock. Kalani Sitake's not going anywhere. Penn State wanted him. BYU put their money up. They said he's staying right where he's at. I think that there's a serious path to success for BYU in this game. Baron Morton, one, he gets hurt every single game. But if you pressure him, he will make mistakes. And I think we saw that. The problem was that BYU couldn't stop turning the ball over. I think there's going to be an emphasis on LJ Martin. They have Kingston, and they've got Roberts. They've got quality wide receivers. It's going to be, can Bachmeier get them the ball? I'm not necessarily saying BYU is going to pull off the upset here, but I do think that they're going to keep this one close. I think that defensively, there's going to be timely pressure. They've got really good linebackers. I think they're going to be able to get to Morton. We might see a couple Baron Morton mistakes that allow BYU to hang in this game. And they're just one of those teams, I've faded them all year. They're just one of those teams that they don't make mistakes. They don't really shoot themselves in the foot. I understand they turned it over against Texas Tech, but that was uncharacteristic for a team that does not really make a ton of mistakes. I think we see a much more buttoned-up approach from the Cougars. I'm taking BYU plus 12.5 as my lock of the week.
BYU plus 12.5. Bam.
You going to flip?
Nope.
Can't flip. Got to go with Texas Tech. Take them first half. That was your whole thing this year.
They love covering that number.
All right, what is your lock of the week?
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now.
So you kind of touched on it. Alabama and Georgia, they played a while ago. Alabama won 24-21. It was 24-14 at halftime. Only one touchdown was scored in the second half, and that was by Georgia. I'm not high on Alabama, even though maybe I'm a little bit higher on Ty Simpson than you are, but I agree with you. I think Georgia runs the ball well here like they did in the first game. And I think defensively they get off to a better start. It's something we've noticed the past few weeks is Georgia starting to click defensively. Get a little bit worried because the offense seems like it's slowing down. But, yeah, I view Georgia as a team that can compete for the national championship. I don't view Alabama the same way. So we're going to go Georgia minus 2.5 for the lock of the week.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I just think, I mean, you look at Vanderbilt, you look at Mizzou, you look at Auburn, you look at all these teams. Bama just keeps allowing these teams to hang around.
Lost to Oklahoma.
Exactly. And that's a fucking not great Oklahoma team, in my opinion. Bam.
LSU was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, I agree. No, I don't like this Alabama team. And I do think that Ty Simpson's going to make a critical mistake in this game, I think. And like you just said, I'm lower on him than you are. I think he looks the part. Footwork's good, all of that, like we talked about earlier in the year. Fundamentally, he looks good, but I think you can get to him and bother him, and I think Georgia will. So Georgia's probably got 3 people that we don't even know their name that are going to come in, and then they'll be on the Eagles' first-round pick radar. So, Bam, what is your lock of the week?
Going to Indiana versus Ohio State. I'm taking the under here, 48.
Okay. I thought about this, and I stayed away from the total. What are your thoughts on it? Just like I said, indoors, fast track, offense is king in my opinion these days. I stayed away. I think fundamentally I lean under, but then I was like, I could see some points on the board in this one.
Yeah, I don't have a strong lean either way.
Yeah.
But
because I was almost considering going side and total every game, but
I mean it could go either way. The thing, sometimes I get afraid to bet unders and games that I think are going to be close. Like this to me is kind of a 50-50 on who could win the game.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't like to take the over if I think overtime is a possibility. I'm not saying it's a high possibility here. I'm just saying.
You mean take the under?
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty, to recap, I am taking the American Athletic Championship. We're taking North Texas minus 2.5 and the under 66.5. Mountain West Championship, UNLV plus 4.5. The SEC Championship, we're going Georgia minus 2.5 and under 48. The Big Ten Championship, we're taking Indiana plus 4.5. ACC Championship, Duke and Virginia over 57.5. And then my lock of the week. What did I say? Am I going for 4 in a row, 5 in a row? I don't fucking
6
remember.
in a row.
Is this for 6? Okay. For 6 locks in a row, BYU plus 12.5 is the lock of the week.
We're going BYU plus 12.5. Georgia minus 2.5. Indiana plus 4.5. Duke, Virginia over 57.5.
Okay. Bam.
Going North Texas minus 2.5. Texas Tech minus 12.5. And for the lock of the week, Indiana, Ohio State under 48.
There you go. That is our best bets for college football conference championship weekend. I have lost everything in college football this year, but I got a funny feeling about this week. Might mean absolutely nothing. Stay tuned to find out.
Undefeated.
I fucking hope so. That would be nice. All right, we will recap the NFL, and then we'll get to where the money's been made this year and give you our best bets for Week 14. Very quickly, if you don't know already, which most people don't because nobody's watching, but you will. You will when I start rattling off winners. My college basketball plays, I've started giving them out. Tennessee shit the bed, lost outright by 2, so that's a tough pill to swallow. Florida was down, what did I say? They were down 12 at halftime. At one point, I think they were down like 16 points. 2-point game, 3 minutes to go. Need that one. Tie ball game. 3 minutes to go. Need that one bad. But that's not what we're here to do right now. So, all right, to recap, another profitable week in the NFL. And I feel like, so I give out like the Monday morning recaps on Instagram, doing a walk around the neighborhood. I'll just kind of, people have got to be like, it's every fucking week. I'm like, we got them again. We did it again. It's every goddamn week. And I said it a couple weeks ago where I'm like, at some point, I almost feel like I'm getting imposter syndrome where I'm like, this can't last. We can't do it again. And we keep doing it again. So it's like I said, your brain plus my brain, it might be the sharpest NFL brain, guaranteed in the state of Louisiana, but we might be talking the entire Gulf South. So we had 8 plays. It's this fun game every single year where we bet all of the Thanksgiving Day games because if it's on Thursday, we're going to have action on it. And every year it goes fucking terrible. It goes bad. It was 1-2 this year, but when you take in the fact that I lost a billion college plays in a row, it was a bad day. Packers and Lions under 49, like I said earlier, 3 points in the first quarter, 28 in the second quarter. This actually, I think, had a chance to still go under, which most games do. You had 3 points in the fourth quarter. It was 55 points scored. I don't remember. Whatever. It didn't hit. Chiefs -3. This was as simple as we talked about it. If at 3.5, we leaned Cowboys. At 3, we leaned Chiefs. Cowboys end up winning by 3. This was not one that we would have ever taken if it wasn't on Thursday. That's the fucking point, I guess. You want action for the holidays, it ruins the fucking holidays. Bengals +7, though, we felt good about. This was actually a contest play. Joe Burrow, the return with the orthotic in his shoe. How was he going to fare? And he threw the ball 46 fucking times. So looked good, too. Was mobile. Played well enough. Struggled to execute in the red zone, but they won 32-14. They handled the Ravens. Easy winner. I had the Jaguars and Titans under 42.5. A little more scoring than I would have liked in the first half. Came to a complete halt in the second half. Long story short, we didn't lose a motherfucking bet on Sunday. We rallied. We lost the first 2 to start the week. We rallied off 7 in a row, okay? So I'm sure there's people out there hoping for us to lose. Keep hoping, you fucking idiot. Chargers -9.5. Herbert hurt his hand, had to come back in, and they were still able to get the job done. They ran the ball very well. Raiders are a fucking dumpster fire. Commanders +6.5. I doubt you watched this whole game, but this game was incredible. Back and forth. Marcus Mariota I almost bought a goddamn Marcus Mariota jersey because I was making money hand over fist on Sunday, and I needed it so bad. The play he made was Eli Manning-esque. You didn't see it, and you're not going to be able to find a replay of it, I'm sure. But they ended up getting a pass interference on 4th down because I don't even know how he broke 2. Like I said, Eli Manning-esque. He broke 2 what should have been guaranteed sacks just to stay alive as he's getting pulled down, throws the ball to, I think it was McNichols, the running back, and he got pass interfered with by Hufanga. An incredible effort play that kept us alive. That was the difference. We were going to lose. I said Hufanga. Yeah, he's with Denver now.
Yeah.
The Broncos were not covering this game for 1 second in regulation. The Commanders were the right side. They go into overtime. Mercy of the coin flip never goes my fucking way. So I said if the Commanders start with the ball first, can't lose. Never goes the way we need it to go. Broncos march down, touchdown. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And now we need the Commanders to go down and score. Marcus Mariota put us on his fucking back. And then what's crazy was McLaurin caught a touchdown. They called it back for holding, and they had to do it again. And they fucking went down like it was a deep ball touchdown. And the crowd's going so crazy, and they don't have a flag on the screen. And then they pan to the ref, and he's calling holding. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, dude. But Marcus Mariota put us on his back. Bills -3.5. A slow start, but that Steelers – The handicap was Rodgers coming back from the injury, and that Steelers offense we've been low on all year. This was also a contest play. We got a worse number, too. We laid 3.5. It closed at 3, I think. 26-7. They outscored them 23-0 in the second half. And then my lock of the week was the Texans +4.5. I'm infatuated with this Texans defense. It's unbelievably good. They hold the Colts to 16 points. They outgained them 364 yards to 281. Held the Colts to 3 of 10 on 3rd down. Jonathan Taylor, what did he finish with? 21 carries, 85 yards. They win the game outright. We go 6-2. Like I said, we hit fucking 7 winners in a row after starting 0-2 combined. 6 in a row for me. 6-2 on the week brings me to 43, 28-1, 8-5 in my locks of the week. You had 6 plays, largely or maybe entirely all the same other than the Patriots.
Yep.
Which was an easy winner.
Yeah.
Although, I say that, the back door fucking opened up for like 1 second.
Oh, I couldn't go to sleep. I wanted to so bad. I was just like, go up fucking. They were up 18. I was like, just stay up 18.
It felt like they were up 30. And then I looked back. I'm like, I literally went to go pee. And then I come back. I'm fucking spitting. I went to go pee. And I come back and I see Giants 2-point conversion. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm telling Lindsay, we're 4-0. We haven't lost all week. I'm telling him, like, this is how it fucking happens. I'm like, just complaining.
Yeah, I was nervous about this when, Well,
we laid 7.5 in the contest.
Right, going into the game, because all the other games were considered for the contest won. And I kind of made a push to put the Patriots in there, even though it was 7.5 for the contest. But, yeah, special teams got it done. Defense, man, I get the Patriots haven't played a hard schedule.
You're about to bet the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
But I don't know, man. This team, there's something about them. Like the way
Drake May's incredible.
Drake May's an incredible player, but defensively, man, the way they fire around, they play with a lot of aggression.
Mm-hmm. Gonzalez is really good, and they're doing this without Milton Williams.
Yeah,
which I said I didn't know Milton Williams existed until this season.
Yeah,
and he's incredible.
And that's the thing that the Patriots have been struggling a little bit, and they're on bye this week, but next week they play Bills. Is the run defense is not doing nearly as good as it was
since
earlier in the year, and since Milton Williams has been out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But so 4-2, 30, 19-1, 9-4 in your locks of the week. It's like we talked about. I leaned Patriots, but then when the numbers come out, it's like 7.5. It's like that's the tough game you play. But I've had this conversation with Bam before, where it's like sometimes you shouldn't shy away from it's a half point through a very key number, but it went that way for a reason, and there's people backing them for a reason. But the thing was, it came back to 7.
Yeah, after Dart was officially announced.
Yes. But that's the give and take that you got to play with this contest, especially if you're splitting an entry. Because I was talking to Lindsay, and I'm like, yeah, we're 4-0. And I was like, this is his lock of the week. And I'm like, personally, I was like, I probably would have shied away from it. But that's like kind of what I said going in is like, there's going to be picks that I like that you don't like that we go with. And there's going to be picks that you like that I don't like that we go with. And sometimes they're going to be winners. Sometimes they're going to be losers. So that's the game you play. And this one, luckily, was in basically no sweat. For 1 single second, it was a sweat. Not even. It was just the back door started fucking showing. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. But they got it done. Punt return touchdown helps. Drake May is just a really fucking good quarterback. And I'm so excited for the postseason because I love the NFL postseason, and I just like winter in general, but it's cold. Everybody's getting together, watching the fucking games. Like, we're going to the sports book this weekend. This is the best time, in my opinion. And there's so much. It's so open. It's anybody's game. Rams are obviously looking like the best team, but, I mean, I think you can make an argument for a lot of different teams this year. So, Bam, how did you do?
Went 2-3. So on Thanksgiving, had the Ravens, Bengals under 52.5. That one hit. And then Chiefs -3, loss. Packers, Lions under 49. You already covered that. Yep. That was a loser. And then had the Texans and the Colts under 44.5. That one was kind of a sweat. And the one you've been waiting to talk about.
What, me?
49ers, -2.5 first half. That was bullshit.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate.
You want me to say it?
Harold Fanning scores a bomb of a touchdown.
Well, it's Fannin, for one.
Fannin.
And don't disrespect him. He's an incredible tight end.
Yeah.
And he was the best tight end in college football last year, in my opinion.
Anyway, he scores in the last, minute or so to tie it up 7-7.
Shador threw a dart right down your fucking throat. That's what, long story short. Shedeur stood in the pocket and threw an NFL caliber throw to a wide open Harold Fannin. Who,
so not 7-7. They get a penalty called. They get closer. Get the 2-point conversion.
Shedeur.
I know.
Let me explain it. Bam decided to bet -2.5 first half with the 49ers as his lock of the week. And so you immediately flagged it, basically, in terms of like, I question why, because I always question first half bets and instead of full game bets. And so you're like, okay, if you're taking the Niners first half, that means you think Shedeur's going to have a decent second half. You're worried about them covering 5.5. So I know how Bam's non-sharp yet brain works, and he's like 5.5. That's a funky number, and he saw 5.5, but then he was like 2.5 first half, just be up a field goal and we'll cover. You felt like you were too scared to lay 5.5. Long story short, is that fair to say?
Sure.
Well, what do you mean sure? Don't you're not appeasing me. It's either a yes or a no. That's the answer. You were scared to lay 5.5. And in your defense, the Niners were controlling the first half, but the thing with the Browns is they have like a top 3 defense in the fucking league. So they didn't allow the Niners to score very much. Shedeur does what he was born to do. Okay? He did what's in his blood, and he put points up on the board with style. Harold Fannin Jr.
Damn penalty cost this bet.
So, they go in to score a touchdown, and we go, okay, well, there's still enough time that the Niners can go get a field goal before halftime. Penalty, they go for 2. We all of a sudden we're like looking back at the TV, and it's like, oh my God, they're going for 2 and getting it. It's 8-7. Niners go get the field goal. They win the first half by 2. They win the second half by a fucking 100.
Yeah.
So
it puts me at 23, 22-1, 6-6 the locks of the week.
But what did we learn?
Just go with the full game.
What do you think? Because you're the one who flagged them on that.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is there has to be a reason that you like the first half better than the full game when you take a first half instead of the full game.
Well, this is what we were talking about. Bam has a tendency, like he does this prop competition with his friends. And in his defense, I guess, these props that he has no reason for why he's taking them, he just takes them, they hit. And so Bam,
the other night was awesome.
Okay, what do you mean the other night? Mariota? We're the ones who told you to bet that.
No, Mariota was awesome, but the first drive punt.
Yeah, so he sends in, Reed asked, like, what props do y'all like tonight? Bam sends in, I'm hoping Dart comes out rusty. And he takes Giants first drive punt, -112. So I go, okay, well, is that the only reason you like it? Because you're hoping he comes out rusty because he's an NFL quarterback and, like, what do you mean rusty? It's not. I don't get it. I don't feel like that's a concrete of enough of a handicap to go, I'm hoping he comes out rusty. So my thing with Bam is I've always just said, like, you got to have a reason. It's exactly what you just said. If you're going to take them in the first half, there's got to be a reason why. And the reasoning doesn't, like, because he didn't think, there's no way he thought Shedeur was going to have a good second half. So the problem with Bam is he gives out these fucking plays that you're easily capable to push back, where I'm like, the Patriots in the last 10 games before last night, the Patriots had only allowed or held the opponent to a first drive punt one time in the last 10 weeks. And then it was something like the last 5 weeks, the Giants hadn't punted. They went like 4 touchdowns and 1 turnover on downs. So I'm like, so what's the reason you like it, though? Other than I'm just hoping. I was like, it's a coin flip at that point. But on the flip side of that, it's like the next closest thing you can bet is like a first drive field goal, which was like plus 350. So it's like, yeah, in theory, for the sake of your competition, because they have an odds restriction, you almost should just take a fucking first drive punt because it's the most likely thing to happen. It's not like you fucking self-diagnosed a plus 250 winner. Odds are it's going to be a punt, but my point is you should come up with a fucking reason on why you like it, other than I hope he's going to be rusty, because that's what he says. Like, they're used to Jameis. So Jameis been in for 2 goddamn weeks. You think they forgot who Dart is?
Hey, you get used to somebody pretty quick.
No, you don't. You don't. That's the thing. We gotta work towards the why we're risking our hard-earned dollars on
Was
this.
that the first drive where he got smacked?
No, that was later. But they completed that first down, and so I'm like, you get fucking one more of those, they're going to get on the other side of the 50. They get in 4th and short, they're going to go for that motherfucker, and you ain't getting your punt. So that's what I'm saying. It's not like –
I have a funny story about that.
What?
So I was running on the treadmill whenever the first drive was happening. Mm-hmm. It's pretty embarrassing, but they get the first down.
Yeah.
And I go, damn it, like under my breath. But as I say it, my leg flares out and I step on like the outside of the treadmill and I caught myself, but I was very close to like falling on the treadmill in front of like 20 people.
Oh, at Stone Creek too. Yeah, you're not at your fucking hole in the wall gym anymore.
Nope.
Where you got to keep yourself buttoned up. All right, we went off on a tangent there, but yeah, because you got offended the other day where I was like, you still make dumb bets, and you're like, you think I still make dumb bets? And then you come and fucking hit us with the first drive punt and Brandon Aubrey's over points, and we're working there. You'll get there, Bam. I promise. Like I said, you've had a front row view of fucking excellence this year. Do you understand that?
Sure.
You keep saying sure. You don't? Do you disagree?
No.
Well, you said sure.
Sure means yes.
No. Yes means yes. Sure means like if you say so. That's what sure means. Bam, I think Bam's one of those people where he's like 60%, pretty good. That's pretty good. All righty. We go to NFL Week 14. And we started off with Thursday night, Cowboys going on the road to take on the Lions. Lions are laying 3 points on the home field. Total sits at 54.5. Very high total, one of the highest of the year. Obviously, 2 high-powered offenses, 2 suspect defenses. It sounds like we're in agreement. Would you like me to lead the way?
Yeah.
All righty. We were dominating Thursday. We're going to try to get back on track. We have to get back on track. And we're going to do it in the form of the Dallas Cowboys +3 on the road. This Lions team has problems, and you've seen it on a number of occasions, typically when they go play out in the elements. I get it, this is back at home. But I think they have an issue on the interior of the offensive line. And if you remember when we did our breakdowns earlier before the season started, I said I felt like 2 teams were going to take a step back this year. I said the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I wasn't wrong. They're taking step backs. You lost a lot of production on the interior of the offensive line for the Detroit Lions. So much so that Frank Ragnow, one of the guys they lost, one of the best offensive linemen in football at the time, retired. He came out of retirement, at least we thought, and then he failed his physical because he's been probably enjoying retirement. So he's not back. They have issues on the interior of the offensive line. Quinnen Williams, a big get for the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's going to have a big day. I think he's going to have a big impact on this game. The secondary for the Lions are still without Terry and Arnold, and it's on paper, this defense, it grades out well. It's just not that good. I don't think it's good enough at the corner position to stop Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. And this Cowboys team is rolling right now, and we've seen them do it in years past where it's like, oh, the Cowboys have to run the table to get into the postseason. And they give it a pretty damn good effort every time. The Lions on offense, we're expecting Amon-Ra St. Brown to not play, but you've also got Laporta out. You've got the backup tight end out. You've got a lot of weapons, at least pass catchers, that are not playing in this game. I think with the upgrades that Dallas has made on the defensive side of the football, they're playing much better now. They're not playing good, but they're playing much better. This total's high for a reason. We're going to take the Dallas Cowboys +3 on the road. You're going to give us a full field goal with this offense. We're going to take it. You got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the past few weeks, maybe what was causing me to shy away from the Cowboys was afraid of inconsistencies popping back up into the offense. I think, I don't know. I think I've seen enough now to just maybe after so many games of Dak having these weapons, you have 2 number ones, 2 top, probably 7 wide receivers in the NFL with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is, so earlier in the year, it was his first, you're getting acclimated with George Pickens, and you're trying to find the pecking order because CeeDee Lamb is your clear number 1. But then it's like the pendulum is not that uneven at this point. And George Pickens is just an incredible football player. Nutcase and loose cannon. But if you got that fucking cannon batting down, he's a damn good football player. And I don't think that the Lions have the corners to hang with these guys. I do think Amon-Ra St. Brown does so much for this offense. So if he's not able to go, which obviously we're hoping he's not for the sake of this bet, who's your number one? Jamison Williams? Who's your number two? Tesla?
Yeah. And that was the surprising thing on Thanksgiving is when he went down, it was like, oh, I bet the Packers +3 as well when it moved to 3. But we were also on the under. I felt good about that. I mean, they still manufactured some offense, though. So, I don't know. I do think it's an issue, though, especially Laporta being out. I think it's why the Packers' offense looked a little bit better than the Lions on Thanksgiving. So,
yeah.
I'm going to go pee real quick.
Go ahead. It looks like Trayvon Diggs is coming back. I've got to pee so bad, too. That just shows I've been holding it for an hour. And I'm not going anywhere. I think Trayvon Diggs is possibly coming back from injury. So, yeah, it's one of those. I will not be shocked if the Lions come out and cover this number, but I think you're going to give me a full 3 points with a Cowboys defense that's playing better and went out and got some guys. Jadeveon Clowney's rushing the passer. I think we've seen Jared Goff look suspect in a number of spots this year. So, like I said, typically it's been out in the elements when they went to KC or when they went to Philly and all of that. But they had that upset loss to McCarthy and the Vikings. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? The Giants just took you to overtime on your home field 2 weeks ago. We're going to take the Cowboys +3. Get back on track for Thursday.
I'm on them too.
Okay, there you go. And then we turn our attention to, I really do have to pee so bad for what it's worth, but that's the difference. That's the difference here. I would, with how good we've been running in the NFL, I'd fucking piss my pants before I got up before giving out these winners. I've got 1, 2, 3, and a lock, so 4 more plays. How many total do you have, Bam?
Same.
You're going bigger in the NFL, smaller in college football. Typically, NFL is harder to beat. We'll start it off with. We'll see what Nick thinks on this one. This might be a little funky, but we're going to take the Colts and we're going to lay a 1.5 on the road against the Jaguars. Daniel Jones has got the leg issue, possible minor fracture. It looked like his mobility was hindered against Kansas City. Maybe saw a little bit of that and last week as well against the Texans. Sauce Gardner went down with what originally looked like maybe an Achilles injury, but they're saying it's upper calf, not the Achilles. This Jaguars team is playing better, sitting at 8-4. They've won 4 out of their last 5. They just went on the road to Tennessee. We were in the under on that game last week. They won 25-3. The good news for the Jaguars is that the Titans couldn't really do much of anything, and they haven't been able to all year. But this Jaguars team only put up 272 yards of offense. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I haven't believed in him since the first month of the season when I was clearly fooled. We're going to lay a 1.5 with the Colts. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor get back to running the football. I don't think the secondary for the Jaguars is going to be able to stop the pass catchers for the Colts. I think that there's going to be a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence to go out and match the success that I think the Colts will have. Travon Walker's expected to miss this game as well. He's been out for the last couple weeks. I think that's a benefit for Daniel Jones. This is a Jaguars defense that's good, but we've seen them kind of be wishy-washy in spots. I'm going to take the Colts 1.5 points. We're going to lay it on the road. What are your thoughts there?
I'm going to go with the Jags.
Really? I think that might be our first disagreement.
And that sucks because when I walked in, I could tell which game you were talking about. Yeah, Jacksonville, number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL. I think it's getting to the point where we're expecting Daniel Jones to do too much. You mentioned it. His injury kind of limited him a little bit. I guess the pass rush for the Texans bothered them last week, but it didn't result in a whole lot of sacks, not like a couple other games this season for the Colts. But I do think the Colts are better than the Jaguars. I just think that this spot here, kind of the Jaguars are in a sneaky position where they're first place in the division now, in front of the Colts and Texans. I think.
Well, tied with the Colts, but
I think they have a tiebreaker scenario. Maybe they have a better divisional record.
Maybe
right now.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's mainly the rush defense. I think it's kind of getting to the point where Daniel Jones not totally reverts back, but just isn't able to capitalize. Even though, like you said, the Jaguars don't have the best secondary. Certainly the strength of their defense is against the run.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't love this one. Like, I wasn't necessarily politicking or going to politic for this to be a contest play, but I don't know if you felt that way about the Jags. I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence played good against, obviously, the Cardinals, which we were on the Cardinals in that spot. But I didn't think the offense looked good at all against the Titans last week.
Yeah.
Like I said, 272 yards of offense. I don't know. I think the Colts are in that spot where when they play the upper tier teams, they're not as good as we thought, but I don't think they're a bad team by any means. And I can just see a scenario where I get the run defense is good, but you still have Jonathan Taylor. You have, I don't know the exact number in terms of EPA per rush, but the Colts are possibly number one, I think. I think.
Yeah, I'm sure they're up there.
I think they're number one. So I just see a scenario where they're still able to run the ball and have some success, and the play action is going to open up. And you put Trevor Lawrence in obvious passing down situations, I just don't like it. And as far as the leg injury for Daniel Jones, I was watching somebody break it down, and they were saying that this is not something that is going to get worse, that it's going to progressively get better. And they expect him to be fully healthy by the end of the year. So that leads me to believe that this is going to be like a week-by-week thing where we see improvement in the mobility and not the opposite direction. So, and with this Jaguars pass rush, I don't have the numbers to back it up, but it's not as good as the Texans, I can assure you that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, meaning easier sledding there. I don't know. I get it. It's a road game, divisional. And the number represents that, though. It's only 1.5 points. So, yeah, we'll go opposites there. I do not think we've been opposite many times this year, if at all. So, all right, what is Ben, what's your first one for Sunday?
Going to the night game, Texans at Chiefs. I'm going to take the points here with the Texans plus 3.5.
Okay. You got any thoughts on that?
No. I mean, if it was 3, I would go Chiefs.
I think I'm going to take the Texans plus 3.5 as well, believe it or not. At what point do we just accept that the Chiefs are not that good? And at 3.5, so I said I'm enamored with this pass rush. And I think that defensively, I think that the Texans can go man. And it's very popular now. Everybody knows that Mahomes is incredible against zone, a significant drop-off. Because he's so good against zone, there's a significant drop-off when teams are able to go man. And I think the Texans will be able to do it. I think with the pass rush that they have, at 3.5, I think I'm with you, Bam. I think I'm going to take the Texans plus 3.5 as well. You look at the Chiefs. In the last 4 games, granted 3 out of the 4 were on the road. You're back at home now, but you lose to the Bills. Not that good of a Bills team. You lose to Denver. Not a good Denver offense. So Denver, in my opinion, is a comparable team to Houston. Great defense, not the best offense. But I think there could be success for the Texans on the offensive side of the ball. So At 3.5, I'll take the Texans as well. Stroud didn't exactly play great by any means, but why do you lean Chiefs? Just because?
I mean, I get there. It wasn't like
KC might miss the postseason this year.
Yeah, I think they probably will.
And I think this could be the dagger.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to come this soon.
Well, if they go to 6-7, they're
Yeah, I know. If they lose this game, sure it will. I don't know if I see
get what
it
you're
happening.
saying.
Not coming off of a loss. I think, I don't know. I just wonder, it was really the Cowboys offense that presented the problems here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, all of a sudden, times where you see Spagnuolo be able to disrupt the game, using pressure and stuff, it just wasn't, they weren't able to do that against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And but I thought the Chiefs offensively did okay.
Yeah, what did Rasheed Rice do? Rasheed Rice had a good game. Yeah, I mean they had
and it's not totally like they should do okay against the Cowboys defense, even with the additions, and you're talking about a different animal with the Texans, but
yeah, they're still super penalized. 10 penalties for 119 yards against the Cowboys. You had 362 yards of offense, 5 of 13 on third down. It's just, I think this is what I said. What I expected with the Chiefs was some regression. I said regression's still probably going to be 10 wins. It might not be 10 wins this year. And, yeah, they probably will miss the playoffs. And I think that this is a Houston team that we've been backing, but also they're making a push. This Houston team's trying to get back in the mix here in this division. So, and I think that they're going to be capable of doing it. I thought about an under as well. I thought about an under in place of the Texans, which the total's like 42.5 in that range. Maybe a smarter play, but we'll stick with the original thought. We'll go Texans. What is your next one for Sunday?
I think I'm just going to go with my lock.
That's all you got left?
Yeah.
You as well, Bam? Oh, no, you got multiple.
I got 2 more than my lock.
Give them both to us.
Okay. Rams at Cardinals.
Yep.
Rams minus 7.5.
Okay.
Titans at Browns. Going the under 34 right here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a super low number, but goddamn, the offenses suck. All right, I have one more before my lock. We're going to go to the Vikings and the Commanders. Give me the best number on what's the total Vikings and Commanders.
You can get an under 42.5 or an over 41.5.
Thought so. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to go to the Vikings and Commanders. We're going to go under 42.5. Dan Quinn took over play calling for the Commanders last week. I thought they did pretty well. And then the Vikings. The Vikings are about as much of an under team as it gets. Solid defense, timely pass rush with Flores, dialing up exotic blitzes, and the worst quarterback play in the league. I was crazy enough, and not crazy enough to ever even for 1 second think about putting money behind it. But I was like, Brosmer, Minnesota. I remember when he went there, I was like, maybe Kevin O'Connell, offensive guru, maybe he can put him in positions to just get the ball out and this and that. Brosmer sucks. Brosmer is done for in this league. I remember O'Connell was with Brosmer on the Golden Gopher sideline. I was like, that's his guy. Like that, maybe he has success. 4 picks, barely any passing yards, an absolute train wreck disaster. So whether they go Brosmer, McCarthy, even if you put Wentz's fucking arm back on, I don't care who it is. I don't see a path to success on the offensive side of the ball for the Vikings. I think it's going to become a volatile situation. It already has. Justin Jefferson's not happy. And then the Commanders, I think defensively the Vikings have the defense that are going to be able to hold the Commanders down a little bit. And I just don't see a path to success on the offensive side for the Vikings. So we're going to go under 42.5 in the Vikings and Commanders.
And that Brosmer pick 6 was probably one of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That was so bad.
It was like,
yeah, Will Levitt's had some bad ones like that.
yeah. Yeah, just don't do that again. And I think we're going to get to the under here. So
Yeah, I think it's looking like McCarthy's going to be ready for this game.
don't matter. Just same thing. Same rules apply for McCarthy. Don't throw it to the other team where they can return it for a touchdown because he's liable to do that. yeah, I'm going under 42.5. I was impressed. Not impressed, but I was pleased with the performance from the Commanders defense, and that was the big thing was Dan Quinn was taking back play calling. So all we have left is our locks.
Yep.
All righty. All right, no such thing as a lock of the week, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now, but it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
All right, for my lock of the week in the NFL, we're going to go to the Packers at home taking on the Bears, and we're going to lay 6.5 points with Green Bay. I'm going back to them. I swore them off. I'm back on the Packers. And this is more of a bet against Chicago. They're not as good as a 9-3 record. You look just last week, Philly's a broken team. That offense is broken. Caleb Williams was 17 of 36, 154 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. This Packers team, I think, is going to be able to get the job done. We're going to get home here. We're going to lay 6.5 points with Green Bay as the lock of the week. You look at the Bears. They played a lot of teams, subpar teams, way closer than they should have. They kept pulling rabbits out of their hat late. Divisional game, road game against a team that I think is getting back on track. Christian Watson coming back was a huge get for the Packers, getting him back healthy. I think it opens up the offense, and not everything has to be so underneath anymore. I think that's going to play a big role here. Packers minus 6.5 is my lock of the week. Which way are you going?
Yeah, the
Bears. Say we're fucking opposites this week.
What was I saying? Oh, this is for first place. This is for first place in the division.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got one that we're on the same as. I'm on Packers 6.5, minus 6.5 as well. I think this is a strange situation, where it seemed a team that was just a touchdown favorite won outright, and then they come back the next week and they're nearly a touchdown underdog again. If I said that right, but I meant touchdown underdog, won outright. Now they're a touchdown underdog again, and the reasons are there. I question whether the Bears are going to be able to run the ball here against this Packers defense. I think it all starts with the Packers defense. If the Bears can't run the ball, I'm not sure everything with Caleb Williams is totally developed yet to where, he can lead this offense by himself.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not against this pass rush. I think, like you said, getting Christian Watson back, Green Bay offensively looked the best they have all year last week.
Yep.
And it was kind of somewhat of a surprise because we were on the under, but the signs have been there. They just hadn't put it all together this year, and they did it last week. So I like the Packers a lot, minus 6.5.
Yeah. The potential has been there from day one. There was just something was off, like we kept talking about. And if both of these teams play to the top of their potential, the Packers are going to blow the Bears out of the water. And this is for first place in the division, like you just mentioned. The Bears are not as good as their record. The Packers are. This is the point in time where you're going to see the good teams separate themselves. There's no more rabbits in the hat for Chicago. I look at that game against Philly, and everybody's like, wow, the Bears won outright. Philly has serious issues on the offensive side of the ball. This was not because Caleb Williams played out of his mind by any means. It's like I just said, 17 of 36, 154 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Defensively, the Packers will be able to bottle up the run. They're going to force Caleb Williams to do it with his arm. There ain't going to be a fourth quarter comeback or last-minute touchdown to take the lead. So, yeah, Packers minus 6.5. Both of our locks of the week. Ben, which way are you going?
Going to the Bengals at the Bills. I know it's a high number, but I'm still taking the over, 52.5.
Okay. All righty. There you go. That is our best bets for NFL Week 14. While I think it's the first time that we've had an opposite, at least maybe one Thursday play we did. It's maybe second time we've been opposites this year. That might be the first time we've had an agreement on a lock. Could be wrong, but I think it is. So take that for what it's worth. To recap, Thursday night, taking Cowboys +3, taking the Colts -1.5, the Texans +3.5, Vikings Commanders under 42.5, and my lock of the week is the Green Bay Packers -6.5.
We're going Cowboys +3, Jaguars +1.5, and Packers -6.5 for the lock.
We're going Cowboys +3, Texans +3.5, Rams -7.5, Titans, Cleveland under 34, and for the lock of the week, Bengals, Bills over 52.5.
There you go. Episode 244 is in the books. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
Bam.
Who dat?
All right, I appreciate everybody. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are 1 away from 1,000, and we're going to try to make a run at this thing in the Circa Millions. It's been an incredible run the last few weeks. Job's not done, though. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this, a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.